if you feel like your business is stuck forever and no matter what you do, you cannot, make any more money, you cannot just grow, there's one thing that I'm going to be talking about in this video that I don't see a lot of people talking about that hasn't made a huge difference, at least for my business, and also for my clients as well. And these things is almost like a hidden thing that almost nobody talks about and has a huge reflection on what you are working on. Some people get lucky and they never need to worry about this, but most people, they don't get lucky. They actually get the opposite of it. Like they need to hustle a lot more to keep up. So what this is? Well, this is your implementation and learning phase compared to the market. Okay, so what this means is that your implementation and your learning phase, they need to go side by side or a little bit faster than the market. Okay, so I'm going to give you a very simple example so to explain it. Stick with the end because this is very, very important to understand. Every single market has around, not every single market, but the digital marketing world has around a 2-year period where everything goes well until something pivots and changes, and then you need to reframe every single thing that we do. Okay, it's around 2 years. So what this means is that, let's say, for example, that right now we love, SLOs, right? Right now, what is working very well is SLOs and all that stuff, right? Now, if you are building a funnel business that is not focused on SLOs or something very similar to these kind of strategies, you are probably going to get stuck and struggling quite a lot because, one, your cost per acquisition will be super high. Two, a lot of the new clients, they are not going to be looking for what you're selling, they'll be looking for the new things. And three, by the time you start implementing these, it's already too late because you don't have the learning and implementation speed that you would need to start making money from that, okay? At least most people. So how can you fix this? Well, you fix it by doing the following. There's 3 types of people, right? 3 types of people. And those 3 types of people, they're very, very different. The first one is the rule setters, right? The rule setters. These people are the biggest in the market, the best in the market. They are doing their stuff for the past 10, 20 years. They not only know what they're working right now, but they can also predict what's going to be working the next 1-2 years, okay? So these are the people that start doing a lot of tests and adjusting and creating new strategies that are going to be setting the market for the next couple of years, okay? And being in this position is kind of difficult. You need to either be in the prestigious kind of masterminds or paying very, very close attention to what's happening, but it's very, very difficult to be here. So usually when they are here, they are going to have 2 years to exploit that and make a lot of money. Now, the second group of people, which is where you can be, most realistically speaking, is those who understand, who see what's happening in the market, okay? And they start seeing the shift. They understand that there's already things moving to another strategy in place and all that stuff, and they start implementing that as well, okay? So these one are the followers, okay? And then there's those that they don't pay attention, and by the time they hear about it, it's just from their favorite guru, or everyone is already using this as, business opportunities. There's tons of coaches teaching this method to other people on how they can grow their business. So this is just already too late. The market is saturated, and you need to work harder and harder and harder, and you are going to struggle with how much money you can charge and clients and all that stuff, okay? So ideally, you want to be in this middle place, okay? And in order for you to be in this middle place, and the main reason why you want to be here is because if you fall right here, you'll still have a year and a half, or a year and a half to learn, implement, and try to get a lot of results from that, and then the next trendsetter is going to be easier and easier and easier for you, okay? Now, if you fall right here, by the time you learn and understand how it works, it's just already too late. You're going to be selling, things with a very, very low, result. Okay. Now, how can you be right here? You need to change everything you do, basically. At least I had to. I was focused on learning things that were on YouTube. I was focused on learning things that, that I had other people selling courses about. I was focusing on, basically things that I could get or what other people were selling on that stuff. And most of these, they were not even up to date. They were a little bit outdated. And what I mean outdated is like 6 months plus. So 6 months plus is a little bit outdated. It doesn't necessarily need to be, but it's a little bit outdated. Some of them were like 12 months plus. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to stop doing this. Okay. At least it cannot be your main source of information. And you want to be part of groups that give you, there's two things you can do. You can be part of groups that give you an idea of what's working right now, or you can go ahead and do a lot of research for a long time and then grow your research skills and then pattern recognition skills. Okay, basically that's pretty much about it. So once you start doing this, you start changing. There's two things that's going to happen. You start changing the way you see the market and business. You understand there's more FOMO than most people portray to be, right? So if a client of yours takes 2 or 6 months to make a decision, they already lost a lot of momentum. You also learn and understand that if you take 2 or 6 months to make a decision joining that coaching program, that membership, whatever, it's basically you are wasting a lot of time and a lot of money as well. You need to play faster and invest faster and learn faster. But it's also going to allow you to be prepared, to implement the new things much faster. Okay, so the fastest or the earlier adopters are going to always have an edge, an advantage around anybody else. Just think about it this way. Most of you guys already know about ClickFunnels and Go High Level and stuff like that, right? So think about Go High Level. Go High Level is like what, 7+ years maybe. So imagine Go High Level. Imagine that you have joined and started promoting Go High Level like 5 years ago. Okay, 5 years ago. The market was not saturated for this software, which means that the chances of you finding someone new to join Go High Level will be amazingly high. Also, let's say you started creating content about this time, right? After 2 years, let's say 3 years ago, which was when Go High Level started to grow really fast, right? If you had 2 years of content around this and promoting and stuff like that, you would be the center of attention, basically. So you would get a lot of visibility. You already get the rapport and credibility from all those 2 years that you were working with. And basically, you would get better results, a bigger ROI with the same, work, okay? Now, with the market, is exactly the same thing, right? Same thing. If you are one of the fastest people going for SLO and you are able to get results from here, then you're going to get more case studies, you're going to get more portfolio. You're going to feel more prepared because the way that you speak is going to be different because you have worked on that for a long time. Therefore, you are super, you faced all the objections, you faced all the problems and the challenges and all that stuff, right? So you're going to be in a much better position to make it big. And this is how things scale so much, right? I'm going to give you an example of most YouTubers, for example, right? Most YouTubers, they start a channel right here. They have no growth. But then after 2-4 years, then things start to scale. And then out of the sudden, it grows really fast, okay? And it was not out of a sudden. It had all this work in the prior because of the compound effect, and they're learning and implementing and all this stuff, and then afterwards they start to getting massive results. This works the exact same way with agencies. Of course, there's other ways that you can do to fast track and all this stuff, but if you are speaking realistically, most people will not have that kind of structure or help. So if you are doing this by yourself, this is what you need to pay attention to. You absolutely need to understand where is going to be the market in the next 2 years, and you need to be super fast in two things. One, investing in learning everything about it, and two, implementing and getting as much case studies as you can from there. So these are the two things that you absolutely need to do. So when you see a trend that is emerging, focus on that stuff, start building things on the side, and then if it goes everywhere, you are already prepared. If you see that there's an opportunity right there emerging, you want to start exploring that, creating content around that. It's happening that right now with AI, right? So those content creators that started a year ago, now they have a lot of an advantage from those that are starting right now. It doesn't mean that you cannot grow. It's just going to take more from you to grow at a similar pace than the others, right? So ideally you want to leverage this. Okay, so remember, anything that you do, if you really are serious and you want to grow fast, you want to learn and you want to implement as fast as you can, so then you can analyze and understand the market and then build from where the market is at. So if you meet where the market is pivoting, then it's awesome. If you don't, what happens is other people will, and then if you take too much time to decide to go all in, it's already too late. You are going to keep struggling, basically. All right. So anyway, I share a lot of stuff about funnels, strategies, about SLOs, SE funnels, webinar funnels, all that stuff. If you are someone that is a funnel builder making less than $10,000 a month, and you believe that you want to learn everything about design, conversions, strategies, mindset, and all that stuff, that's exactly what I do. I help funnel builders that are stuck in $2,000 to $5,000 a month, or that they are making a little bit more, but they struggle with design and conversion and mindset. I help them build great skill sets towards that, so they can become very, very great professionals and make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. Okay, I have students that I've taught 2, 3, 4 years ago that right now they are making that. Like, I'm making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, and the journey that they took resembled that. They gathered the information that they needed, they learned it, they implemented, then they understood what's going on, they adjusted, they gathered the information that they needed, they learned it, they implemented, they saw where the market was going, and they repeated over and over again. And that's exactly what I do every single day, and it's also what I recommend you doing as well. If this was helpful, drop a like, drop a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.